Hi guys, it is week 2 of the single parent collaboration that I am doing with Tompkins New Life Academy. And this week it is single parenting, dating, and marriage, and our thoughts, feelings, opinions on that. So I will start by telling you a little bit of my history with it. Malloy, my son, and his father, hello, me and his father have never been a couple. We were never together. Um, I guess you could say we kind of tried to see if we could maybe be together, but there was never feelings, there was never love, never, nothing. I had gotten out of a relationship right before I got pregnant. I was with somebody for a long time, and I loved him very much, and I still no, I still do have a lot of love in my heart for this person, but he went away to Iraq. He was in the army. Um, I went through a lot of sadness and depression and drank a little bit too much and made a mistake. However, out of that mistake came the greatest blessing, gift of my entire life. Um, Malloy has changed me as a person. He has changed my life in so many ways. And so even though I made these poor choices and ruined a good relationship with a good man, I did get the best part of my life out of it. So I don't regret the mistakes I made because I learn from my mistakes, but I do still feel a little guilt. If I think about things like, if I would have waited till that guy came home or from Iraq or whatever, Malloy would have had a better father. I would have had a good marriage. I think about things like that. But I also strongly believe that we all have our own journeys and there are mistakes to be made so that we can learn from them. And so that's what I've done. Um, and I have chosen not to date. And why I've chosen not to date is because of one part is because of my childhood. My parents divorced when I was very young, and they both dated and married a few times after. And so um, I had a lot of stepdads, stepmoms, boyfriends, girlfriends in my life as a child growing up, and some good, some bad, and but it did add that extra. What's the word I want to say? It was just an added stress. There you go, stress. And as a child, I could have done without it probably. Um, However, at the same time, I am not angry at my mother or father at all. They're human beings just like me. Um, they just were looking for love. They wanted to be loved. They wanted to make a family. Um, so in no way am I angry at them for dating and getting married, like they did. Um, but I've learned from their mistakes, and I don't want to put my son through it. Um, he's already going through it with his father. He was actually just married not too long ago. So we're already dealing with issues from that, and those are normal issues. I don't like my stepmom, or now I have stepsisters and stepbrothers, and then whatever, it just brings on more stuff. Um, and I've just decided to make it a little more simple and just not. And I've given that area of my life to God, and so far it's been working out pretty good. I've been celibate his entire life, which that's crazy. Like, that's how I know it's all God, because I won't get into it because then I'll sound silly. But, well, I'll get into it in another video. But um, to be celibate for almost 9 years is like, for me, it's pretty amazing. So God is good. And He has taken that part of my life and put it on hold for me, so that I don't have to struggle with it. And that's pretty awesome. Um, it's crazy though. I think about it still and I'm like, what? It's been that long? Whoa. I'd never thought in a million years I'd be saying that. It's crazy. But anyway, it's been a good thing. And I can focus on other things like my son and bettering my life and my walk with God and my family. So it's been good. However, I'm not completely closed to it. I'm just not actively searching. I have told God many times, if there is some wonderful man for that you have for my son and I, you bring him in my life and you let me know if it's the right timing and if it's the right guy. Um, and I'll trust you with it. But it may not happen. And I told God the same thing. If you don't have somebody for me, and it's going to be, another 9 years when Malloy goes off to college before I start dating, I'll be okay, and I'll trust you with that too. So I don't know, but as of now, I have not dated at all, like at all. I haven't even like chatted with a guy. I mean, nothing. Like I just, like I said, I had enough of it in my life prior, and so I don't feel like I'm missing out, and I feel like my life feels more full than ever. Um, I won't lie, there are days where I'm like, when I see a really cute couple and their children, and I feel sad that I don't have that and that I can't give that to my son. That does come up in me sometimes, but it's not something that I carry around every single day and it makes me sad. And I know a lot of other single moms, and they put so much effort into dating, and that's their priority in life, and they don't realize that they're not paying attention to their children, or that their children are suffering because they see mom crying because the boyfriend is mad at them today, or because they broke up with this boyfriend, or they introduce their kids to boyfriend quickly, and then they break up with him, and then they bring in the new boyfriend and introduce them. And I don't think they realize how much that is affecting their child, because that child is going through more heartache and more feelings of loss, because they're bringing someone new into their life and they're loving them, and then all of a sudden they're gone again. So I've seen it a lot, and it's very common. And I know some of these women, they just want a family. And so they're looking for that father, they're looking for that husband. And I get that. I get that. We're women. This is the way we were made. We were made to be with somebody. You know what I mean? So I get that. And I'm not mad at anyone for doing that. It's just that I've made that choice not to do it. So there are a few things that are important when you do date, if you are ready to date. Realize that it's not just you and this person that you're dating. You have to think about, would this person work with my family, with my child? And if it doesn't, you can't force it. You have to just walk away and trust that there's better. Avoid a quick turnaround. That's what I was just saying. You date one guy, you bring him home, you introduce him to the kids. It doesn't work out, so a couple weeks later you meet another guy and you introduce them. It's just not healthy for your children. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you're dating with children, you're kind of teaching your children how to date. And so you want that to be, you want to show them healthy dating, what it means to date the right way, with morals and not rushing into things. And yeah, so um, let's see. The other part is really look at yourself. You know, why are you dating? What are your motivations? What do you want? Are you dating because you're lonely? Are you dating because you want a father for your children? Are you dating because you don't have enough money? Are you dating because you're lonely? Um, really sit down and think about why you're dating. Why is it important to you? What are you looking for, etc. Um, balance. You need balance when you're dating. Um, you know, if you suddenly take a whole bunch of time away from your children when they're used to having you all the time, so that you can date, your children they're gonna notice that. They're gonna wonder where their mom is, and it's probably not gonna make them very happy. So really think about how much time you're spending with whoever you decide to date. Um, don't miss out on things with your children like basketball games so you can go on a date, or you know, find other times um, to do stuff. It's hard, and that's the other thing. As a single mom, you don't have time. Um, that's another reason I don't date. I just don't have time. Like I really don't have a second. So I wouldn't have anything to give a man. I wouldn't have time to give him. And I certainly wouldn't want to take any time away from my son. So there's that. Um, the other part about it, you know, if you're ready to date, don't let your children dictate your choices in the dating world, but think about what their opinions and their feelings are. Take those into consideration. Um, they may tell you things that you would never have thought, about how they're feeling or what they're going through. So yeah, talk to them. Be open about it and talk to them. Explain to them what you're doing. You know, I met a guy. I really like him, but you know, you don't have to worry about him moving into our home, and you don't have to worry about us leaving and moving to another place, or things like that. He's not going to take me away from you, and I'm not going to change. You know, be open about it. Talk about it. Um, there's a good website I found. It's familylife.com, and there's 11 practices for dating when you're ready. So you can check that out. If I can, I will put it in the description for you guys. Um, there's a lot more I could say about this too. Um, I'm trying to be a little quiet with what I say because my son is in the other room with his cousin, and I don't want to say too much. But so my advice is to really think about it first. And if you're newly divorced or newly separated, wait a good while before you start again, because your children are just going through that separation. They are just going through that change, that loss. Give them time to heal. Give them time to get used to their new life. And yeah, then really start thinking about your reasons for dating, what you're looking for. Are you ready? What do you look like? What kind of person are you looking for? What do you really want in a person? Um, think about the last person you were with and why you aren't with them anymore. And make sure you find a person who doesn't have those issues. You know, find something better. Go move up. Don't look for somebody who, you know, don't what's the word I'm looking for? Don't settle. Don't just settle with somebody. Just because you're a single mom doesn't mean that you don't deserve a wonderful person, because you do. So don't just settle for somebody. God does have someone picked out for all of us. He does give us the desires of our heart. And so if that's your desire, to get married and to have a family, um, do it. And just really trust God in it and ask Him for His guidance and His wisdom. Um, don't just rush into something, and don't just take what you can get. Really ask God to bring you someone good and ask him to show you if that person is the right person. And if you choose not to, like I am, at least for now, that is totally okay too. I have friends and family who are like, you need to get out, you need to date, um, you need to go on a blind date, or you need to get on a dating website, or don't listen to that. It's what's in your heart when you're ready. It's about your journey. So if you're not ready for it and you don't have a feeling that you need to go do that, then don't. Love what you have. Love your life. Give your time and yourself to your children. Go out with friends. Go out with family. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have time to do other things, but if you're choosing not to have other relationships, then just wait. It's perfectly okay to wait. Everyone's journey is different, and just do what makes you feel good. And usually, when your children are your priority, um, things will fall into place, and you will feel good about yourself and your life. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
We're playing the try not to laugh challenge, and we're putting water in our mouth, and if we laugh too much, we have to spit it out. But we each have bowls. But Julian accidentally spit a little out of the bowl, so I cleaned it up.
Where did you spit this water?
On the table.
Did it get on anything?
No, I moved everything.
Okay, maybe you should try a different game.
Can we please do it literally?
Well, can you control where you spit then?
Yeah.
See what I mean? Your kids need you. Yeah, maybe when Malloy gets a little older, and that's another thought of mine. If Malloy gets a little bit older and he's not as needy, maybe that'll be my time to start dating. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for that. I do know that I'm trusting God with it, and I'm okay with it. I feel very secure in it. And I have all his life, which, like I said, it's crazy to think about. I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, what? I've been single all this time. It's hard to believe, but it's worked for me. So, whatever floats your boat. I hope this was a good enough video. I feel like I just kind of told you my story. It didn't give you a lot of good info, but hopefully this will help somebody out there. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Whether it's about my life or if you want my opinion or advice, I'm here. So yeah, God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed this.